Hey, beautiful souls. So, the divine wants me to just channel a little bit about commitment. Commitment as a light worker, commitment in life, commitment in general. So, some of you that know I've been following, and I did just arrive here safely, so for those of you that were curious, I have my family trial finally after 3 years of being so ridiculously manipulated, assaulted, just all of the ridiculous corruption one could think of. Because I couldn't have even made this up had I not lived through this extent of shit, which is what totally, awoken me to my part of my life's purpose and mission. And that's what the purpose of this channeling is. So I was just sitting here, and I may tear up about it. I'm really trying not to, just so that people because other people are in such low vibration still, that they see my tears as something that they're not. We'll just say that. But anyways, in a couple of hours, I start to go into my trial. I 100% already do, by any legal standpoint, have this in the bag. I did before. There's absolutely nothing to speak to why this should have even gone on this long. It's just due to corruption, 144. And that's what's uncovered such large corruption to me. At first I was just what I thought, an abused woman. And we were an abused woman and child by somebody who had, a little bit more, what I thought, power, being just based on the fact that his father had some connections. I didn't even realize how intricately woven this was in the beginning, right? I was so naive. I really just thought we were just kind of getting the shit end of a broken system. Which we were too, but no. And I didn't realize what was going on at first. But then as I did, because, I'm not a hack, I was uncovering large-scale corruption, which I think these people were starting to catch on to, which is why they started to, come down harder. But what they didn't realize is that the person that was doing this to me was literally just doing this to beat me too, and that everything that they had said about me was a lie, right? And that they had fabricated this whole thing and quite literally cost thousands upon hundreds of thousands of dollars, tons of resources. This has involved, child services corruption, the school board. The school board, I actually have a huge lawsuit I'm bringing down against now because of what just happened this week. Not even kidding. But that's why I'm saying, from the outside looking in, and even from my 3D perspective, I was just sitting here wondering, because I actually was just accepting, and I'm going back and forth, but I'm trying to wrap it all up as much as quick as I can. I want to go back to sleep for a few hours before court. I was just sitting here with the full-on acceptance as a soldier, as a fucking light soldier, that 100% I should be winning this. My child should be free as this little baby prisoner that he's been, to come back with me, right now after this trial. That's what should be happening right now. That's what I see happening. But I also had to just prepare myself, even as a psychic, because this is why I know that there's a big purpose in this. And I was almost a little bit upset that I might have to accept that it wouldn't go my way, just because thus far, things not going my way has allowed the divine to lead me into uncovering really, really, really broad scale corruption. Things that, when I'm done what I'm doing right now, will save lots of other children. For real. Just little old me fighting for my child. This is going to make a big difference, and it already actually has. It just hasn't, played out enough yet. And I was quite literally feeling, and it's true, if I win tomorrow, I won't feel as called. And I don't want this to make me sound like I'm a bad person, but I just wouldn't naturally feel as pushed to fucking take them all down. And so then I had to stop, right, and more than once, and reevaluate. Am I just wanting to take them all down, as vindication, a retaliation for what they've done to us? Which, on some small level, of course, I'm not going to lie and say that it's not that. They deserve it, and it's only fair, and it's only right. But no, at the bottom of my heart, I've never been that person, you know what I mean? Which is why I would let so much of it go. All I've wanted this whole time was for my son to be back safe with me and for us to be free of this abuse and torture, because that's what it actually is. That's not an exaggeration. It's the literal definition of torture by international human rights. I'm the victim of fucking torture by a huge Masonic web. And so, yeah, I feel like if they give me what I want today, I would, just by default, of course, be on my merry way to a certain extent, right? Like, of course, there's some things I can't undo. There's some things I won't ever want to not do. Like, I quite literally stopped my psychology degree. So for those of you that don't know, I do have about 2 years worth of certificates under my belt towards my bachelor's in psychology, minoring in sociology. Life circumstances also had me kind of stop that and slow it down, but that's because, well, one, I went for a bachelor's of arts when my soul was guiding me to a bachelor's of science, but I was intimidated after being out of school for so long, so I knew that was wrong. I knew I was never going to practice just as a psychologist. I knew that I'm supposed to go into actually helping them discover like quantum physics type stuff, because I channel stuff about magnetics and stuff all the time. And so then I also knew that maybe I was never supposed to be a psychologist and get a psychology degree. I was just supposed to blow through my psychology degree so that I could have the psychologist knowledge, just because they do foresee me writing new psychology textbooks in the future. Anyways, where I was going with that is that now I'm actually wanting to go into and study like actual human rights defending, because I see myself making some really big global change. Something that I just see myself doing now because I see the necessity, right, for this type of work. My whole life now has 100% purpose, which is why I always tell you guys, look at your lives to help discover your purpose. What drives you? What has happened to you or around you? You know what I mean? Like, what have you been witness to? Because, yeah, lots of people, thankfully, are not the victims of trauma, but still give a fuck, right? And you guys want to help other people, even though you haven't been traumatized by some of these issues yourselves. And that's because you're beautiful freaking souls, and we all have purpose here, right? It's not just like how there's really only 144,000 twin flames, but yet so far everybody thinks they are one and they can have one and whatever. It's also that people will see the value in twins, and I hate to say it, but they always give me this analogy, the angels. Look at like bugs, like bees and ants. They have queens. They're not superior because the queens can't survive without every other, member of their team or family or whatever, right? None of them can. Each of them is actually dependent on the other, but each of them provides a completely different thing. And they keep showing me that about twins and humans and, divine angels on earth and stuff. It's like, we're all the same because we are all equal in the eyes of the source creator, except for twins. Twins are halvesies. It's true. Everything is one piece of one spark creation source piece of love, however you want to say that, right? We're all one piece of the creator except for twin flames. We are a split, same frequency piece of the creator, 9-6. Anyways, so I'm sitting here. And you know what the sick part is, and why I was actually started to cry? And like, never, ever would I ever want that. Like, I want my son back right now. But I see so much value. This fucking sounds insane for me to say. I see so much value in the way that things haven't gone my way this far, in what it's uncovered, because of what I know I'm willing and am doing, and capable of doing. Just fucking little old me, myself, and I, not even fucking kidding a little bit. That part of me wants them to try and fucking dare not give me exactly what I want today, so I can make them rue the day and take down the whole lot a lot quicker. And so, yeah, no, I really sat with that, like, I'm just power tripping now too, aren't I? Because I can. The divine's telling me that things will go my way. They're telling me that they will. So maybe it's just my fear. Or maybe it's just my soul reminding me that when things go my way, I still have a mission that I'm very passionate about. It's my hopes that following me is helping to align all of you with your purposes, because that's what I was told it was, what I was doing here. I'm not trying to get fucking YouTube famous. Or famous. I think I'll be famous no matter what, 111, because I know that what I do for the world has actual value. Not that I'm not saying that channeling these messages to you guys doesn't have value, but I'm going to tell you right now, my whole intent behind this is really just to get all of you guys behind me so that I can keep preaching all this type of shit to you guys. And in no time, we're all going to be awakened before everyone even realized what the fuck happened. And it's all through love. This kind of love. Fucking soldier kind of love. Light soldier kind. Anyways, they say that channeling was enough to talk to you guys about real commitment and purpose and love. Thanks for following. Love, light, and lunacy.